I remind you of something we said earlier at the beginning of our study of the Old Testament. The Bible is not a collection of proverbs or wise sayings simply dropped out of heaven. Rather, God has revealed himself through events that were observed by ancient Israelites in time and space, in history. That is why chapter 2 of our survey, the where and the when of the Old Testament, introduced you to chronology and geography, that is, the study of time and space. This is critically important background information for you as you read the message of the Old Testament. This next portion of our survey introduces the so-called historical books of the Old Testament. These books trace the history of God's people from the conquest of the Promised Land to the rise of monarchy. This is followed by a period of time when God's people existed in two separate nations, Israel in the north and Judah in the south. Tragically, Israel was defeated by the Assyrians in 722 BC, and eventually Judah falls to the Babylonians in 587 BC. This is followed by periods of exile and restoration in the Persian period. History can be a fascinating topic, but when Christians turn to the historical books for devotion and inspiration, we find much more here than mere reconstructions of the events. These grand meta-narratives and many of the individual stories in them are illustrating important truths for our times, namely, obedience to God and God's covenant results in blessing and a satisfying life, while disobedience inevitably ends in destruction and death. Keep these central truths in mind as you begin your study of the Old Testament historical books.